here. I wanted to talk a bit today about the inspired life, and it's a topic I've talked about before, but I've been getting a lot of questions recently, and I've made a couple of commitments to circle back to this topic today. So the inspired life. I've gotten questions around, okay, well, what does it really mean to live an inspired life? How do I do it? Why does it matter, to live an inspired life? And what it brings me back to be able to kind of give you the framework around it. I had the pleasure, the honor, the blessing several years back to do a weekend intensive with the amazing Dr. Wayne Dyer. God bless him for the gifts he's given us over the years through his teaching. He will be forever missed, but his teaching is still abundant and around us, and many of us are carrying it forward. And in this weekend intensive, one of the things he really focused on was being inspired in your life. And he took the word back to the original meaning. So it's a Latin word called inspirare, is how it, good morning, Papa. Looks like Mom's on, looks like Andre, hello. So inspirare means to breathe life into. And if you expand upon that and then relate it to our life experience, it's almost the concept of breathing life into our life experience. And I know that that may seem redundant. However, as the quote says, many people die before they ever actually live. And it's a sad statement, but it's true. Many people, as we've talked in the past about Bronnie Ware's research, the top regrets of the dying, number one being, I wish I had lived a life true to myself instead of the life others expected of me. So many people go through their lives either living it for other people, living it for reasons other than what would be most fulfilling for them. They never really took the time to breathe life into their own life experience in a way that would have them feeling the most fulfilled, light them up, and then have them be the greatest positive impact on others around them. And so if we look at the concept of breathing life into your life experience, how I understand it in my mind is that it's really about living your life from the inside out. And I've said that many times. I will probably say it many more times, but it's really a commitment to live your life from the inside out, or another way of saying it, to live from your heart, to lead with your heart, to let your heart and your soul guide you in this life, because the guidance is there. I mean, God speaks to us through our heart and soul. And so when you're willing to go down your path in this life, and we would all agree that life is short. What we know for sure, and we could certainly have lots of conversation and debate around this, but the one thing that we know for sure is that we do in fact have this one big, brilliant, beautiful life that we get to live. And it is limited. It has a beginning and it has an ending to the physical experience. And we've really got to make the most of it. We want to be able to get to the end of our days and look back feeling fulfilled, happy, no regrets. And the way we do that is to live from that inspired place, to ensure that you're making certain choices in your life that then create a life experience that you want to jump out of bed every morning to enjoy. It doesn't mean that everything's perfect. There are still challenges. There is still contrast in life. There are obstacles to move through, to overcome. However, when you start tuning in to who you are, making the conscious choice to love who you are and to authentically be who you are, there's something about the ease that you find in that, and the resource of strength that you find in that, because it is your direct connection to your source, your direct connection to God. And when you have that connection, even when the contrast bubbles up, even when there are obstacles to overcome, there is grief to feel and work through, all the challenges that life can throw our way, you're able to move through it with more ease, knowing that when you get to the other side of it, you can make a conscious choice to have it not only be part of your story, but be part of the fuel that encourages you and inspires you to make a bigger difference in this world. And what a lot of people don't realize is that everything in life is a choice. You know, you've probably heard the quote, happiness is a choice. I would say happiness is many choices we make with regards to the perspective that we have on our life experience and all the experiences within our day to day. It's hundreds of choices we make throughout the day. And we all, fall off track. We may wake up, jumping out of bed, excited to live the day, and then something happens and we fall off track. And that's all of us. It's part of the human experience. But the question is, how quickly do you get back on track with the positive perspective? How quickly do you get back in alignment with who you really are and go back to living your life from the inside out, letting your heart and soul lead the way? I've learned that although we are all connected, God or source energy, whatever you choose to call it, connects us all. We are all extensions of that source energy. We are all extensions of God, which by definition would make us all one, just like all of the drops in the ocean are individual drops, but they make up the ocean, the big, beautiful, brilliant ocean. That being said, we are all also very unique and special. And we each have our own soul signature to live out in this lifetime. And I don't believe it's possible to live out your soul signature in all the beauty that it can be and make the impact that it could make unless you're living an inspired life, unless you're living your life from the inside out, letting your heart and your soul lead the way. Because when you let your heart and your soul lead the way, that's when, even when there are challenges, even when you get kind of knocked down, you can get back up knowing everything's going to be okay and knowing you're going to be stronger for whatever it is that you may have been through. But again, it's a choice. There's the choice of perspective in any situation you ever find yourself in within your life experience. You can say, oh, I've got to go to the store today. I don't feel like going to the grocery store, but I've got to go. Or you could say, how lucky am I that I have enough money in my bank account that I can go buy food? You can say, like just yesterday, I had the gauge light come on in my car saying low air in my tire, low air pressure. And I could easily say, oh man, now I've got a leak in my tire. I've got to fill it with air or fix a flat or go get a new tire. I could go down all those different paths of thought. Or I can say, you know what? How lucky am I? How blessed am I that I have a car? Because most people on this planet do not have a car to drive at all to even be able to enjoy the benefit of low tire pressure. Aloha, Clyde. I love the aloha. Aloha, beautiful meaning to aloha. Beautiful. So it really does become a choice in any situation you find yourself in. And we are humans in this human experience. I'll take that back. Many say that we are human beings having a spiritual experience. And of course, I'm sure you would gather and guess, I believe we are spiritual beings having a human experience. But nonetheless, we are having this human experience, and in our human bodies with our different perspectives and history and experiences and thoughts and beliefs. Beliefs is the big thing. And so we will have those moments where we fall off the alignment. We will fall off track from being tuned into who we really are. I mean, it just happens to all of us. But the more you practice it, the more you are consciously aware of your ability to choose to be tuned into who you are and to live from that place. The more you do it with intention, the more you have a willingness to see things differently. I've just learned not only can you move through the challenges in life with more ease, but when you do fall down, you get back up a heck of a lot faster. And that is something that I am incredibly appreciative of in my life. Because again, no one's life is without trouble, so to speak. No one's life is without obstacles. But it's not do I fall down? It's do I get back up? And so that's certainly the encouragement today. And when you are living the inspired life, when you are living your life from the inside out, when you are living your life being led, being guided by your heart and soul, by the God within you, it lights up the experience in a different way. It just lights up the experience in a different way. So you may find that you have certain beliefs that may hinder your experience. But what you need to remember there is that a belief is a thought that you just keep thinking. I used to think it was possible to have deep-rooted beliefs, because it's a belief I've had, since I was so young, like that money is scarce. Money doesn't grow on trees. And I felt that was a deep-rooted belief because it's something that I had learned at a very young age and carried with me throughout my life. And here I am, 45 years old, and now I get to choose. Luckily, it didn't take a whole 45 years, but about a decade ago, I started to realize that, no, wait a minute, that's not a deep-rooted belief. It's only even a current vibration in my experience, a current thought in my experience, because I choose to continue to pick it back up. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to pick the beliefs back up. So there's no such thing as a deep-rooted belief. There's only a belief that you keep picking back up. And it can be all kinds of beliefs. It can be that money is scarce versus the world in the universe is abundant, which is what I now believe and know to be true from my own experience. There is that the world is scary. People are mean. People are greedy. These are all beliefs that, can certainly be instilled in us in our life experience from various sources. And I've worked with many people over the years that have had to overcome these beliefs just to be able to have an enjoyable life experience. It brings us back to that paradoxical truth, that we could sit here for a few minutes and have a conversation and give factual examples that would prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the world is a scary, mean, greedy, hateful place. And then we could spend the next 5 minutes having a conversation, coming up with factual examples that would prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the world is a kind, loving, generous, beautiful place. And that's why it's a paradoxical truth. It's two statements that both can be proven true. And so if both those statements are true, then what matters is which one are you going to put on the forefront of your experience. It matters. It matters a lot. What you choose to believe creates your perspective on life. And every situation you ever find yourself in is colored by that perspective. And so, along the way, we can talk about lots of different choices that we can make that matter a great deal, that will impact your life experience. But the biggest thing that I want to share with you today and put out the invitation for is to just remember that you do have the choice to live life from the inside out, to live the inspired life. You can make the conscious choice every day to at least have the intention, to put out the intention to let your heart lead the way, to stay in touch with, to stay tuned into who you really are. Because who we really are at our core, each and every one of us, is love. So many different wisdom traditions and philosophies teach us that everything that we ever look for in life, everything we seek, can be found within. And so often we find ourselves looking outward. We are looking outward for answers. We're looking outward for solutions to our problems. We're looking outward for validation, for love, for contentment, for happiness. And almost every wisdom tradition on the planet, in the universe, teaches us that it's to be found within. Happiness isn't something that you get from your life. Happiness is something you bring to your life. And it's pretty powerful when you wake up to that and when you remember that. Because I think we come into this life knowing that. I just think that things happen and we put up walls, we build beliefs that don't serve us, maybe even served us at one time, but then at some point no longer serve us and become more limiting than protective. But you get to choose now. No matter what your life experience has been like, no matter what you have been through, no matter what rationalization you could easily give and get thousands of people to jump on board and agree with you, the fact of the matter is you get to choose. You get to choose the perspective through which you're going to either enjoy or dread your life experience. And I want you to enjoy it. And I am determined to enjoy it. I am determined to be so thankful for this day. I am so thankful for this moment. And I am eager for what's next, because this is an exciting time to be alive. There's much to enjoy. There's much to love. There's much to do, and much connection to be made. So with that, I will jump off and send you on your way for the rest of your day or evening whenever you happen to catch this. I thank you so much for jumping on and being with me. So see if anyone else has jumped on. Shanna, what's up, sister? And Marta, thank you all so much for jumping on. Feel free to add your comments in the comments within or below the video, and any thoughts that you have, how you feel about the idea of living an inspired life, and maybe question for you: what is one thing you can do today or within the next 24 hours that will honor that will honor the inspired life for you, that will ensure that you're connected to who you really are, to the authenticity of who you really are? Because the inspired life is about being fully 100% unapologetically, authentically you, all the way. So, oh, hey, Kathy. Thank you very much. But yeah, so I'd love to see your comments. I'll be sure to respond to those at some point today and as they come in. And if you feel anyone could benefit from this message, please don't hesitate to share the video. And thank you so much for tuning in. Ladies, if you're checking out the video, if you have not joined our tribe yet, you want to head over to the Inspired Life Tribe. It's a private Facebook group. Sorry, fellas, but it is for ladies only, a place for us to be able to gather and continue this conversation and this inspiration around living our lives from the inside out and letting our heart and soul lead the way so that we can have the most fulfilling experience possible. So with that, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Mwah! Much love to you.